Desde Cali, Colombia. Allá está haciendo frío, aquí no. A toda la gente beautiful de Canadá. You people, I love you forever. Hey, you're from Colombia. Hey, bye bye. Te quiero que sí.
Sail set high up past the TV. Easter and feast they stood so savagely. Bathing pools under the angel fall. Lake Pursuit was a magic dream. Sands time are flowing by, my eyes are fast. You're the time doing what inspires us.
Buenos noches, damas y caballeros. Bienvenido a Guadalupe in Santander, Colombia. Welcome to Guadalupe, tiny little town in Santander in Colombia. So today I thought I'd give you a little bit of a tour of Guadalupe. And as you can see over there, that is the main cathedral. This is the main square right here. It's a Sunday. And the odd thing is that I thought that Sunday was going to be a really quiet day where all the stores were closed down, but it's actually busier today than all the rest of the days. Yeah, they have a little outdoor, well, I wouldn't call it a market because there's only about 3 vendors, but seems like all the stores are open and most of the restaurants. So yeah, I'll just wander around a little bit. Not a very big town, so it doesn't take too long to wander around the entire town, but the main things to do here, of course, are Las Gachas, and there's a sign over there that says Las Gachas on the building, which I haven't even noticed yet. Restaurante Las Gachas. And Las Gachas are the little potholes in the river, and it's not just the one river either. There's apparently other rivers, including Salitre y I can't remember which was which, but there's also a spot called La Gloria, and it has the same kind of potholes. So it seems to be a thing that happens to the rivers around here, these little swimming potholes that you can actually get, in some cases, over the top of your head in these little potholes. There's some beautiful, beautiful waterfalls. There's surrounding beautiful mountains. So it's a really nice, tranquil, peaceful place to visit that I'm really enjoying. So anyway, show you around here a little bit more. This is very typical of the buildings, and pretty much once you've seen those buildings there, in all honesty, you've kind of seen them all, because they're all very, very similar. But I'll take a wander down what is essentially the main street here in Guadalupe. There's a few tourists around, but not a lot of us gringos or extranjeros, so I'm gonna have to probably put my mask on a little bit, because most of the people are masked up here. Some yes, some no, but most people are. So I want to try and not scare people and think the gringo is gonna infect the entire town, so got to play the game a little bit. See, there's not a lot of traffic. Lots of motorcycles. It's about 3 restaurants all within a block here. This one called Bonanza. Hola. Got a couple bakeries in the town, but they're nowhere near like the bakeries you'll find in the cities, smaller towns. which have all kinds of sweets and cakes, everything you could possibly want to satisfy your sweet tooth. Here it's mostly bread and a couple of fairly dry cakes. So as you can see, the city limits just down the block that way, and if I was to go a block, or sorry, about 2-3 blocks the other way, you'd be hitting the city limits. And again, just down this way, another 3 blocks, it's getting into the residential area. So basically it's just a small town store. You don't have any of your Exito or big chain places like Exito's, like Walmart basically. Here's another restaurant right here that I've been told about, Carne La Llanera. And the other funny thing about this little town is that they have well, at least a couple meat shops that I know about where you can buy fresh meats. But if you don't if you don't buy the meat early, they kind of sell out. Now this is one of the, oh, just dropped a big bomb there. This is one of the things I really and another one that I really like about Guadalupe, besides all the road apples on the road, is that people pull their horses up to the stores, just like in the old television series Bonanza. And particularly during the early evenings, you see a lot of that. Sounds like a busy place here. And this is the small little vendor market that I was talking about. And there's some kind of a, it says Plaza Municipal Guadalupe, and you guys see a whole bunch of the older gentlemen, the caballeros, in their traditional hats. And I'm not sure what they're doing there. Looks like they're probably just having their cervezas. And you got another newer church over there that I think is might be a nunnery. This is I think the biggest fruit market, but as you can see, a lot of the stalls are already all cleared out. Let's see if they have any oranges here. I wouldn't mind getting some oranges.
No.
Buenas, ¿tienes naranjas?
Naranjas no, señor.
No tiene, ok. Gracias.
3,000 le dejo esas.
3,000. ¿Tiene un poco más pequeño o el mismo? Más o menos el mismo. ¿Ese? Sí.
¿Se lo echo en una bolsita?
Sí, por favor.
¿Qué más sería? ¿De eso no? ¿Nada? Granadillas.
¿Eso es 3,000?
Es la granadilla, mira.
Buenas. ¿No tiene naranjas? Buenas.
¿Qué quería?
Estoy buscando por naranjas.
¿Naranja?
Sí.
¿Qué naranjas, hija? Mire esas que quedan ahí.
Ah, ok.
No hay más. Se acabaron. Estos sí no.
¿Es dulce o no?
Dulce.
Más o menos.
Estas.
¿Cuánto es para las 3?
¿Las 3?
Sí.
500.
Ok.
El 6.
Esto. Va a hacer el jugo de ya. Tome. 10.000. Échale tostado.
All right. Well, I found the last 3 oranges that she had, and then I think they're miniature plums. So let's see here. How much should I pay? Not much. I'm just gonna walk by these stores. You can kind of have a little bit of a glimpse inside them. Bakery. One of them. Nothing terribly exciting, but just a normal little functioning town. And I'm gonna go see if the place that I like going to for lunch is open or not. This place coming up here is the biggest general store that I'm aware of. But funnily enough, they don't sell any fruits in there, so it seems like everything's all separate. You got your meat markets, little clothing store there, and you got your fruit markets, and you got your separate bakeries, and everybody has their little specialty. Love the way the locals are still wearing cowboy hats and various kinds of hats here. What's this? Burger place. Another guy with his horse pulled up to the store there. Little general store. Tiny. And just up the street is, I'm hoping that that restaurant is open, but I have a feeling that it might be closed. Oh, happy days. It looks like it's open. Gracias. So we got the chicken, the yuca, and I already ate the spaghetti soup. Actually, there was rice here, and I put the rice in my soup. Lemonade, all for 9,500 pesos, 9,500, and that's about $4 Canadian. So pretty good. They give you an extra generous portion of meat here, so that's why I like it. You've seen so many of my other videos, there's always a dog waiting for some scraps. So the restaurant where I was just at is where that gentleman is sitting in the chair. And it's only 1 block away from where I'm staying. Which is called Donde, Jose. Hostal Donde, Jose. And for me to have a private room there, it's 25,000 pesos, which is only about cents Canadian, 8 US. So, shared bathroom. That's never been a problem. It's like party time in the tavern there. So there's the cathedral. Like I say, the main park is right here. And this is the hostel. Jose Navarro. Continuing on, this is the along the side of the cathedral, which is kind of interesting with this lighter colored rock, which you don't see that terribly often. Let's take a little peek inside. Pretty quiet in there. Another thing I can tell you about Guadalupe is that has a very predictable weather pattern that I've been seeing and that was confirmed, which is that it'll often start off fairly sunny and then it'll last pretty much till at least 2 o'clock, and then it'll like today again by about 4 o'clock it's pretty much all clouded over, maybe a little bit of blue sky that you can possibly see over there, and then again around 4 or 5ish it tends to start raining. But usually not for too long. And there's been a couple of overnight downpours. But it's actually not so bad because it keeps everything nice and green around here. And it keeps the air nice and fresh. Keeps the waterfalls flowing. So I don't mind it. Buenas tardes. Bien, gracias. So I'm just heading down this way. It's kind of a dead end, but I wanted to show you the well, I'll show you quickly. This is the cemetery here. As you can see, it's quite a lot different from the type that we have back in Canada. And I don't know if this has always been kind of the main building for the cemetery, or if it was something different at one point, but it looks pretty old. Now let's just see if we can, oh, there's a fence there, but hopefully you can see a little bit of the surrounding scenery. And literally from the cathedral over there, if you walk any more than 4 blocks in any one direction, that's it. You're at the town perimeter. So it's not a big town. No view at the top of the hill. Let's just wander down this way. I haven't been down this road before. But it is another outer perimeter road of the town. And a little bit better view over there now. As you can see over to the right, a lot of people, they grow a whole bunch of vegetables and fruits. Are fairly self-sufficient. Yes. People looking at me Probably don't see a lot of people using GoPros, so they wonder what the heck is that guy doing? Talking to himself. Where are we here? So to get here, in case you are interested, I mentioned it in a different video, but what you do is you're going to want to get to the small town of Oiba. Restaurante El Rinconcito. Huh, okay. Doña Cici right there. So where's this restaurant? Oh, okay. Down that way somewhere. Anyhow, I'm going to go up here. As I was saying, you're going to want to get to Oiba, which is a little bit bigger town than Guadalupe. That's O-I-B-A. So if you're going from Bogota, for instance, you're going to go through Tunja, T-U-N-J-A. And if you're going from Bucaramanga, you're going to go through San Gil and Socorro. And then Oiba is only 2 hours by bus from Vende. There's my lot right there. I can buy this lot. So it's only a couple of hours from San Gil, and then 1 more hour to Guadalupe. And the drive from Oiba to Guadalupe is really nice. And it only costs 8,000 pesos, 8,000 pesos, which is about 3 some happy dogs. Maybe about 3 and a bit. As you can see here, they'll pack as many people onto a motorcycle as they can. There's no rules in Colombia. Which is kind of good sometimes. Here's another restaurant, Restaurante Doña Ofelia. Looks kind of interesting. Pretty dark, so they probably closed up just a little bit a while ago. So that's about 5 restaurants that I know of so far. So that's plenty adequate for a little town like this. And we're now circling back to the square right by Hostal, Donde, Jose. Big beautiful palm trees here in the main square. Very old looking cathedral. And one other thing while I think about it is there's only appears to be one bank and one Cajaro Automatico bank machine, so I would recommend that you get some money before you come here, because quite often I've been somewhere and I don't know why, but sometimes my 2 cards don't seem to work. And I'll start thinking to myself, oh my God, what's going on? I can't get any money out. I got 200,000 pesos left. But then I start noticing a lot of other people are having the exact same problem as me. But it does kind of scare you a little bit. You start thinking, oh my God, somebody robbed all the money out of my bank account and I can't access any money. I don't quite panic that much. It is always a little bit disconcerting when you literally go to 4 different banks and you can't get any money out. That's a little freaky sometimes. But that happened in Bogota actually about a month ago. I started wondering what the heck is going on, but I waited till later on, and then I went back to one of the same bank machines that I was at earlier on, got my money, no problem that time. But yeah, I wouldn't take any big chances like that. You see lots of these Jeeps all around this area here. Oh, this is the place that I went for the hamburger, Omar Parrilla. It's pretty good. Recommended by other people. What was funny about that, when I went there a couple nights ago, I went in there at 5:30. She gives me the menu and I wanted to get a hamburger. I said, oh, you can't order anything on this side of the menu until 6 o'clock. So if it was me and I owned a restaurant and I was the only customer in there, like, which was the case, I would keep my customer happy and I'd let them order at 5:30. But anyway, I went for a walk for half an hour and came back and ordered again. Hola. So I'm just wandering down here. I've never been down here before, just checking it out while I babble away. Anyway, I was saying I like to be sneaky with my camera and kind of keep it down here and just face it towards people and not look at them and see if they're see what their reaction is as the gringo walks by. So what do we have here? I'm presuming that it's the local outdoor little stadium for sports. But then again, I saw a different outdoor stadium on the other side of town. I would think there'd be two, so maybe this is maybe something different. I'm on the edge of town again. That's looking a little bit muddy. So I'll just turn around here, I think. Well, I don't know what this building is. Normally, if it's a outdoor sports complex, they have a roof on the building. This one either did have a roof at one time and doesn't now, or so it looks kind of dilapidated, falling apart. So I'm guessing that the place on the other side of town is their little sports place. When in doubt, have a quick look. Okay, so it was a sports complex. You can see the basketball hoop over there. That one there's fallen over, but who knows, maybe they still do things on there, but it doesn't look like it's in the best of shape. So I think this here is the local nunnery. Why do I say that? Because when I was walking by yesterday, I saw a bunch of nuns inside. Their little nun uniforms. So at this point, there's the policia. Better go the other way. I'm wanted in this country. So at this point, you've basically seen all four edges of the town. This is the way you're going to walk if you want to get to Las Gachas or Salitre. This is the main road that goes back to Oiba. So you'll see signs, as I pointed out in my other videos. Now if you go back to the main square, which is a little brighter over there now, you're going to walk up the street right here, right by the cathedral, take a left. That's where Hostal, Donde, Jose is. And if you take the next right, you're going to be on the road to there goes the policia. You're going to be on the road that goes to Cascada Llaneras and Los Choreros. Choreros, I keep forgetting which it is, but they're both at the same area. Lots of dogs, obviously. Speaking of the policia, there was a couple police guys just socially visiting Jose today, and they're really friendly. The police in Colombia in general are pretty friendly people. Say hello to them, they will actually give you a friendly hello back. Some more little shops. There's an ice cream place back there. Just functional shops. Stores, fruits. And a little bakery. As you can see, they're all just little stores selling basic stuff. My favorite little bus. I haven't seen it move, so I don't know if it actually starts or not, but I'm gonna guess that it does. People usually it's like local bars packed. That's about it, damas y caballeros. You've pretty much seen most of Guadalupe. All the excitement. I hope you could handle it. There's the cathedral again. And Jose's hostel is right over there. Maybe to end off, I'll just show you Jose's hostel because he's such a good guy. He's been so helpful that I want to make sure that you know exactly where you can find it. And we'll see if Jose is in there. Love these massive palm trees. Literally almost looks like they're made out of concrete because they're so straight. It's amazing. I'm not sure if this is the exact Colectivo truck that I came here from Oiba in, but this is the type of vehicle that I did come in to get to Guadalupe. There's the heladeria, the ice cream place. Alright, let's see if Jose is in the house. Here comes the policia. Here we go. Hostal. Donde? Jose. He's got all these places where you can go to on the wall here. Got people dead from COVID on the couch. And there he is, the man, Jose.
Hola, Tomás.
I'm showing.
Buenas noches, nachos.
Buenos nachos. Agua panela.
Agua panela para café.
Bueno, necesito un tour contigo de tu hostal.
Ok.
Ahora.
Ahora, vamos.
Aquí es fuera, outside. Lavanderia.
Lavandería.
You can do your laundry out here. It's perfectly good to use the washing machine in there. There's a bathroom and baño aquí. Hang out in this area under cover because it rains. Hay lluvia en la noche. Cuéntame la historia de tu hostal. Tú eras aquí por cuántos años y por qué el nombre Donde, Jose.
Ok. La historia es un poco larguita, pero voy a resumir rápido.
Okay.
Eh,
It's a long story, but he's going to make it short.
Yo soy de Guadalupe y yo regresé hace 7 años a Guadalupe. Cosas de la vida. No,
So he's from Guadalupe, but he went away for a little while to live in one of the bigger cities, and he returned 7 years ago.
entonces llegué, no sabía qué hacer y en esa época no era turístico.
Sí.
Aquí no, nada turismo.
There wasn't any tourism when he arrived again.
Y comencé a explorar un poco más de lo que es rutas a Las Gachas, cascadas, pero no tenía planeado hacer turismo. Solo que me fue gustando mucho más la naturaleza, a salir y comencé a mirar el potencial y lo bueno que es Guadalupe.
So when he first got back, there wasn't really any roots to any of the waterfalls or anything, so he started exploring. He loves the nature, so I guess he's one of the people that started the roots. He found the roots to these places.
Okay. Entonces quería quedarme y comencé a trabajar y lo primero que hice fue un restaurante.
Oh, okay.
Y mi restaurante antiguamente, bueno, se llamaba Bonanza.
Oh, okay.
Era mi restaurante.
Ahora no.
Ahora no.
Okay, so he's saying that the Bonanza restaurant, which I talked about, used to be his restaurant, but not anymore.
Entonces comenzamos y comencé a invitar personas de Bucaramanga a venir a Guadalupe. Y comenzó a venir los domingos, solo personas venían, desayunaban, llevaba las gachas, la gloria, el salitre, almorzaban, iban. Funcionó muy rápido, no tenía conocimiento de turismo y comencé agencias de turismo. En Colombia suele venir buses de 30, 40 personas por un día. Y comenzaron a contactarme. Y todos los domingos muchas personas a Guadalupe.
So he was inviting people to come from Bucaramanga to come to his restaurant, and then they'd go on tours, but only on Sundays.
Entonces, bueno, llegué a tener hasta 200 personas un domingo llevando a las gachas, salitre, que era lo rápido y fácil. Y después, como de 2 años con el restaurante, tenía una socia que era un poco
Socia de negocio.
socia de negocio, cercano, familiar.
Ah, yeah.
Y muy bien con restaurante y todo. 2 años después llega el primer turista, digamos, lo puedo decir, extranjero, que se llama Chris Bell.
Oh, I see. So he's just mentioning the name of Chris Bell, who's kind of well known. He's a foreigner who lives in Colombia. He was the first person to come here. And that's where I actually saw his vlog where he mentioned Las Gachas and these other places. So it's funny that this guy came here and that's how I guess the whole thing got started.
Yes. Entonces llega Chris Bell, conocimos, atendí el restaurante, lo acompañé a la gloria, al salitre, hablamos un poco. Desde el principio que he trabajado me ha gustado mucho y hago más por pasión que por dinero. Y bienvenido el dinero, pero es más de corazón.
Sí.
Después de Chris Bell hablamos un poco y fue muy interesante. Salimos, fuimos al lugar, después caminamos un poco por el pueblo y todo el mundo, un gringo, un gringo. Era muy, muy interesante para muchas personas ver un extranjero acá y más. Listo. Normalmente casi nunca me gusta preguntar quién eres, de dónde es. No me gusta indagar al principio. Me gusta que sea libre y tranquilo. Después él escribe y me dice, José, voy a escribir esto para Guadalupe. Y hace un reportaje y él le llama el Caño Cristales de Santander a Las Gachas. Hace su reportaje, recomienda Las Gachas, dice por qué y recomienda mi restaurante, antiguamente Bonanza, y me recomienda a mí como guía, pone mi nombre y mis datos. Y una semana después ya habían extranjeros buscando a José Navarro.
Sí. ¿Dónde, José?
Donde José, entonces llegaban. Yo antes mi restaurante era en otra ubicación.
Sí.
La mayoría llegaban a este lugar y preguntaban dónde es José Navarro o Bonanza y todos, no sé. Iban a otros hoteles y preguntan, es que busco a José Navarro, ¿qué tal? No, aquí nada. Entonces ellos, en fin, el primer día era difícil de localizarme y se quedaban en otros hoteles y hostales. Solo habían 2.
Sí. Voy a explicar. Okay, so after Chris Bell was here, you wrote this vlog, and then soon after, a week later, other extranjeros, foreigners, were asking, they wanted to come here and see these beautiful places. So they came here and they're looking around trying to find this Jose Navarro because Chris left his phone number on his vlog, which I think I even wrote it down myself. And so they're all asking, where's Jose, which is Donde Jose, Donde Jose. So that's obviously where the name of the hostel came from.
Ok, entonces al principio se quedaban en otro lugar. Las personas en Guadalupe me conocen, los hoteles sabían quién era José Navarro, pero ellos decían, no sé. Entonces, después comencé a sacar casas alquiladas para hostal, arreglar un poco y poder hospedar. Fui el tercer hostal en Guadalupe. Y pasó un poco de tiempo que José Navarro, y después conseguí esta casa. Entonces, si no conocen, voy a poner mi logo y lo puse donde Hostal, donde sí. José Navarro, y lo hago, me gusta, y es que me gusta ayudar, dar mucha información, porque sé que a veces vienen y no. En este momento ya hay un poquito más de información, pero antes creo que era lo único que tenía muy buena información y me gustaba ayudar para que fuera. No era problema si no estaban en mi hostal ni nada. Ayudo a muchas personas de otros, así estén en otros lugares. Y así quedó mi hostal, donde José Navarro, pero estrategia para que me reconocieran un poco más. Y ha funcionado muy bien. Y lo del restaurante, mi socia familiar fue exitoso, pero mi socia era muy ambiciosa al dinero. Tuvimos muchos problemas, entonces yo dije, chao, quiero trabajar muy tranquilo. Iba más por mi tranquilidad aquí, cabeza y estar muy bien que por dinero. Mi socia era al contrario.
So I won't explain all that, but the basics is that his main passion is for nature, la naturaleza, and that's his passion. And he cares a lot more about that than trying to make big money. And he had a business partner with the restaurant, and she was more ambitious, which is, of course, totally fine, but that wasn't really his thing. So he just wanted to keep life simple, la vida fácil y básico.
Tranquilo.
Tranquilo.
Sí.
Yeah. So.
Y que he ganado, pues mucha gente habla muy bien de mí, muchas recomendaciones muy buenas. Algo que me ha gustado es que ya, por ejemplo, en Lonely Planet, en True, me etiquetan y aparezco en esas guías, que para mí es bastante importante. Nunca he pagado por nada de publicidad ni nada, sino que ellos ven mi trabajo y me ha gustado que la gente hable cosas interesantes, pero lo hago es más para ayudar, no tengo otra, y bienvenido lo que venga.
Bueno, super. Voy a dar un tour de mi habitación ahora. Gracias.
Sí, con gusto.
Y
gracias.
tu número de celular es?
Mi número de celular en Colombia, es 311-83-51-573.
Bueno, I'll write that down at the bottom, so if you didn't understand what you just said, you'll know, and then you'll be able to contact Jose, and he's very good at telling you information, being very helpful with direcciones de Bogotá y Bucaramanga, y telling you how to get here and everything. So highly recommend that you come to Guadalupe and stay with Donde Jose. Aquí está.
Gracias, Tomás.
Bueno.
Muy amable.
All right, welcome to my room. It's just a single bed. It's got your typical kind of spongy mattress, which is getting to be very common here, which is good compared to what some of the beds used to be like. There's a double bed here that I'm just using to spread all my stuff out on. Got a little table, mirror, so I can look at my beautiful self in the mirror all the time. Really good Wi-Fi signal in the rooms. It's probably not the fastest Wi-Fi, but as long as they have Wi-Fi, that's all I care. Again, this is just kind of a common room here. That's okay. This is a bigger room right here.
Lo siento, es desorden.
Got a little bit of a mural on the wall there, so 3 beds in this one. ¿Y cuánto es por esta habitación?
Aquí en Guadalupe, casi todos los hoteles y hostales cobran por persona. El precio está entre 25,000 hasta 40,000. Y otro que yo trabajo con 2 hostales más. O sea, tengo esto y puedo llevar a otros 2 lugares como míos.
Okay. So he's saying it's 25,000 to 40,000 per person, depending on what room you're staying in. And then there's another one of the bathrooms over here. So there's 2 bathrooms. And one thing that I actually didn't expect, which I was pleasantly surprised about, was that they have hot water. Whenever you see these wires like that, this contraption here, that means they have potentially hot water. Now the thing with that is you can't crank it up. You've got to just turn the nozzle just barely on for that thing to work. But hot water sometimes is better than no hot water. You got your good Western toilet, sink. And you got the kitchen here, which he is totally fine with you putting stuff in the fridge. Oh, he's having a battle. Have to have his coffee. You've got your stove here. You can use the stove. All the plates, bowls, glasses, cutlery. You're more than welcome to use all this area here. Just clean up after yourself, obviously. And then we have my room. Mi habitación es por aquí. Here. Very cheap though, so 5,000 per noche. I sleep with the bats and the rats.
También hay hamacas aquí para están las hamacas. Muy fácil.
An hammock. There you go. Lays around in the hammocks. See, I didn't even notice those. So my room is 25,000 per night, 25,000, which is only about $950 Canadian. And as per usual, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna go aside here and say goodbye. There you go, the phone number, so you have no excuse. And he's really good at responding really quickly. Just watch for this place right here, Jose Navarro. Very easy to find right by the main cathedral here.